What's that good word? Welcome back to the Discourse with Will Marshall, where we have dope conversations with dope people. Today's guest is the definition of multifaceted. She's a host, actress, improv comedian, stand-up comedian, writer, certified dementia communication specialist. She's a recipient of the Second City NBC Bob Curry Fellowship. She co-starred as Sadie in Showtime's hit series The Chi, and is also a co-sole producer of the popular comedy variety show My Best Friend is Black. Her first feature documentary film, Finding Your Laughter, was selected as one of the 10 documentaries that participated in the New York Gotham Documentary Feature Lab, one of the most prestigious programs in the film industry today. I'm joined with Arlietta Hall. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for that
No
amazing
problem.
introduction.
I appreciate it. I thank you for coming, man.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
So good. So before we get into it, man, how was your day?
Today was actually wonderful.
Yeah.
I got to sleep in a little bit because I went to bed a little too late. Sometimes you be up late.
I feel that. My day was cool. I got hit in the head with a dinosaur at work. But
Oh,
outside, I'm a teacher, so
okay.
yeah, first grader today, most definitely.
I love first grade.
Oh, wait. More power to you. Let's get into it, man. Before we get into film and everything else, who is our leader right now in this season in your life?
Arlita is a 37-year-old woman with no kids and a heterosexual, last of a dying breed. And
Why you feel like you had to throw that in?
it's the truth. It's not many of us left standing straight up. So shout out to the heterosexuals. Shout out to the LGBTQIA plus community. But yeah, so I'm just out here as an entrepreneur. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a stand-up comedian. I do improv and sketch. And I'm also a caregiver. I was for my father, who was a person with Alzheimer's, and I am currently a live-in caregiver for my mother, along with my sister.
Okay, that's what's up. So you mentioned your sexuality, so I might as well get into this. How's the dating field been treating you in Chicago? Like, how's that going? I know it's treacherous.
It is treacherous in Chicago. For me to be single, I'm open, but I think that was 2024 was the first year I ever used a dating app. And I used Hinge, but I got on it in DC. Okay, now DC was bussing. Okay, you turn your little dating app on, you meet men with nice careers. You know what I'm saying? And I was dating black men. They were, they could meet me for tea at 1:00. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was doing something. I turned my Hinge back on. I got to Chicago. I was like, oh hell no, off. Shit was scary. Have you seen them?
I don't use Hinge. I know some people that do. I dabbled with it for a hot second. I didn't finish my profile. I was like, you know what? This is not for me.
And then what pissed me off is I tried to nickname myself on Hinge. I ain't got no nickname. Everybody know me as Arlita. Somebody from Chicago gonna report me. Nigga, get off my Hinge. You know me. You could have just messaged me on the gram. I had to fight to get my little page back. So I turned that shit off in Chicago.
Oh, blame it. Do you find it hard to date now with your career? Or is it pretty...
I would say yes. So one is hard because I am because I'm an entertainer, I'm out at date night. You know what I mean? So I'm always busy. And then because I'm a caregiver that one just took care of my father till he passed. So I have extreme boundaries. And I feel like a lot of men come with they need this and, they need that. And it's like, oh, you need a caregiver, nigga, back. You know what I'm saying? So, I have real extreme boundaries of, what you coming to me with.
Right, I understand that. Why you think, I think both sides these days are pretty needy.
Yes.
I think that women feel like they deserve and need all this stuff before a ring is even put on their finger, and even guys expecting husband treatment from their woman without putting forth husband treatment. Where you think all these expectations came from?
I mean, I don't know, because Tyler Perry wasn't even out when we was kids. So it's I'm trying to figure out what... I feel like we had this, as a millennial, we were still on that cusp of growing up or looking at things as a traditional family.
Right.
So it's we want that, but I watch people want that without the work that it takes to put in for that. Yeah. And it's just because you want it, like you need to. And a lot of things people don't really have a therapist, and like I date people that are in therapy, like because why I'm not your therapist. You need because you need to talk to somebody, a
Yeah.
professional, and it's not nobody that you
You
need to
know,
be dating.
my girlfriend told me I needed therapy, and I took offense to that. I
Oh,
was so offended. Like, ain't nothing wrong with me. But she was like, I didn't mean it to be offensive. I just think that you could benefit from having a conversation with somebody outside of your comfort zone.
yeah, like I've
I
been.
don't think why black people feel like therapy is such a negative. Well, now it's becoming more positive in our community, but for the most part, when people hear that, like, oh, I think you could use therapy, people get offended.
Yeah, I think it's because it's not. We weren't really raised with a lot of
Right.
therapy. We were raised with like if somebody crazy, they on some medication and we not that. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't that. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like it's okay to talk to somebody. Like
Right.
I've been in therapy for 8 years, and it's amazing to be able to have a conversation with somebody trained to handle
Certain
your
things.
emotions. You know what I mean? Because everybody can't handle what you giving them all the time. Like
Exactly.
when I went through the program to be a certified dementia communication specialist, like one part of it was like you have to give somebody a bucket before you just start dumping on them because
Right.
you just be throwing all this. They be like, hold on a minute. I just said, how you doing? Like, you ever call somebody, you be like, how you doing? They be
Yeah.
like, because this is happening. You be like, oh my God, your life is fucked. Click. Like,
Would you consider yourself an empath? Like when
yes.
people like dump their trauma on you, you start to feel it.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, and because I teach stand up comedy too. Like I tell my class like before they show in the room, I'm like, all right, everybody got to calm down. Like I'm an empath, y'all. I can't handle this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody take a deep breath. But yes, I will take on people's stuff. So I try not to talk too much to people that's not unhealed. You have to have a timer when you're talking to them.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. So let's get into your comedy journey. Like, what inspired you? Because I remember in high school you was a cheerleader.
I was not a cheerleader.
You wasn't a cheerleader?
No.
Yes, you was.
No.
You was not a cheerleader.
Never.
Never.
You wild.
Wow.
I was at the games.
I thought
I
you
was
on the
supportive.
cheerleading team.
No.
You wasn't?
I was in band. I know you ain't know that.
One of the two.
I kind of hid the
See?
band part.
Okay.
I was around the cheerleaders. All my
Okay.
friends was.
Okay.
It was how confident you was too. You was a cheerleader.
I remembered you being a cheerleader. Maybe I was wrong.
I
Maybe,
played basketball. I was one of the best basketball players ever. You don't remember that?
I thought you was a cheerleader.
No, that's just a dream. I
Wow.
wish I was always good at basketball, but
Wow.
no.
I feel uninformed. I should have asked him.
That's okay.
Some
You knew me as a
Thornwood-
real
some
nigga. That's what you
Thornwood
knew me as. Why is she cool? That's what it is.
But what inspired your journey in comedy?
So I originally went to a gender reveal, and you know it ain't really much to do at the gender reveal, but talk to people until it's time for the gender to be revealed. So I was talking to a young woman at my table, and she told me she had a comedy show that night, an improv comedy show at the Second City, and I had no idea what improv was. But I'm like, comedy at 11 p.m. tonight, we outside, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Down the street. So we went to the show, and they were doing improv comedy. Like they took a suggestion, and like 7 of them were playing on stage, doing off the top of their heads. And at the end of it, they like, if you think you could do this, you could take a class. Nigga, I've been doing this my whole life. This is a thing? Like, are you serious? Like, so that was like in December. And that January, I ended up taking a class at McKay Arts with Antoine McKay, and which was really cool. And from there, I started doing short form improv, then long form improv, then stand up. And how I got into stand up, I went to an improvised open mic where you just pull one word out the hat and talk for 4 minutes. And I killed that shit. And I'm like, well, I'm finna come back and do this shit every week. And so once I kept doing that, I started like wanting to write. And then I took some writing, some bullshit to, you know, some stuff I thought was great. I took a class and I was like, this is gonna kill them. I took that shit to Bartenders, Leon Rogers mic, and I bombed. I ain't never bombed. Like, I ain't never felt so bad in my life because I've been funny my entire life. But when you bomb and nobody laughs, you feel like you want to just jump. But after that, you know, I wrote and I got better and I started actually open micing and understanding the craft of comedy and not trying to rush it, but like actually understand it and study it. Like, you know how you play basketball? Like, that's how I watch comedy.
So, bombing, right? Because I know some people that tried comedy and they bombed and they never went back to stand up. They just stuck with doing internet skits. Like, what kept you going to say, you know what, I'm not gonna let this moment dictate my journey and what I'm trying to do?
Because I kind of like realized the jokes that I was trying to do was more about like other people and my takes on that. And when I was really the comedy that I really like Richard Pryor or like Bernie Mac, is personal.
Right.
So I had to like understand like it's gonna be personal, and I had to start being vulnerable about what's really going on. And I was going through a lot, so I started like writing about that. Like I was taking care of my dad, and like I was going to the mic, and the producer knew I was taking care of my dad, and she like, the way you just come in here and tell me about your day, you could just do this on stage, like just talk about that shit. And then I just like end up going to a mic, and I ain't had no material, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna tell him about how my daddy just ran away from me, and I did, and that shit hit. And like people came up to me in the audience that didn't look nothing like me and was like, I'm a caregiver while I went through this. And I was like, oh, I ain't the only one like struggling. And then also like this story is, it just helped me get out what was fucked up about my day.
That's dope. So like starting, you started your comedy. How, like, what, at what point did you start taking your voice serious? Like at what moment was you like, you know what, I got something and I'm gonna stick with this regardless?
Honestly, I think it was when I bombed. Like, and I bombed at an open mic, so it's like, I mean, that you get a little credit for, but still, it was a black open mic, and I really didn't think I was funny to my people, and that hurt me more than anything else. So, like, when I went home, and then like I started like I stayed up all night. I ain't even gonna hold you. I didn't even sleep, and then I was like, I gotta do this again. Like, I really, really want to get my words out. Like, I know if I'm this funny, a normal conversation to people, and that will send you off thinking that you could do comedy. But I really wanted to write, and I was studying it. So I wasn't just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this. After I bombed, I'm like, oh, okay, you gotta get in the paint. You gotta go to an open mic every night. You gotta start watching comedy. You gotta take notes. Like, and I had to figure out my own style of writing, if that makes sense. So like I would start having conversations with people like, I'm gonna write this down. What's cliche, you know what I'm saying? What's catchy about how I can do this? Like, and figuring out my cadence. And then once I went back to that open mic and I killed, I'm like, bitch, I'm in this shit. This shit, man. Fuck you talking about. Like, I mean, I shouldn't be cursing this much,
you
but
good. You good.
yeah.
So you done improv, stand up, and you done some acting. Which one is your favorite laying out the three?
I would say out of stand up, improv, sketch, and acting, I would say I think stand up would be my favorite. And stand up is my favorite because you get to stand alone. Like improv, you got people, you got a team, you know what I'm saying, to fall on if it don't go good. Sketch, I've written this, I've tested this on audiences, so I know that this work. But stand up, I'm up here, this is my voice. So like, and I love being able to give my story to people.
Right. That's dope. What's something people think comedy is, but they actually completely wrong? Like, what you think that people get wrong about the comedy field coming in?
One, that is easy. Stand up is so hard, and the nerves that come with stand up is something that I cannot even explain. Like, people, I think it was a survey done, like people rather die, like it was like a top 10 things people rather do. They rather die than like do stand up comedy or public speak, because it's so hard to like do. And public speaking is one thing, but actually getting somebody to respond and laugh at you is very hard to do. So I think people underestimate, one, the nerves that come along with it, but also the writing, like being original. Because we're in a day now where people, it's a lot of content creation, and I feel like now we getting older, like we 37. So like I'm 37, but I look at a lot of people don't really know a lot of old school comedy. Right. So we getting a lot of rewatched jokes, and it's like, I think is what people underestimate is like how to be original and how to write, and then a real cadence. Because cadence is so, to me, specific to the person. And I watch so many people, and I could, because I study comedy, I could tell who hang with who. I'm like, oh, you've been around this person, you sound like her. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, oh, you still in her cadence. Oh, you still in that. Or you still in that. So it's hard to find your voice.
Yeah. So how has Chicago shaped you in your comedic style? Or do you think it's just who you are naturally?
No, I've been blessed to be in Chicago to do
Right.
comedy. One, is so many comedy theaters here,
Mhm.
and I'm a comedian. At one, I'm from South Holland, but yeah, very small Dutch town, but
Chicagoland area.
okay, but being from the suburbs, you and being in the city, you naturally understand how to navigate moving around Chicago, and you're open to that. So when I started doing comedy, I started doing open mics on the north side, on the south side, in the south suburbs, in the west suburbs. Like, I was able to test my comedy all around the city, and that's a blessing. And while doing that, I was still able to have a Friday night regular show doing improv, and then I was still able to go to Second City and still write a new sketch there. And once I'm doing a sketch show there, I could go do a late night show at the Laugh Factory. So it's nice to be able to maneuver in a city, and then being able to, like, I've done a audition at Second City and then get in, but Mick Napier, like, over the Annoyance Theater, saw me at the audition and was like, "Boop, can you come do this show with me real quick?" You know what I'm saying? So it's nice to be able to maneuver around. And then at the black open mics, especially, a lot of black celebrities still come through. So it's nice to be able to, like, network. But I feel like Chicago is such a hard city. We have a hard audience. We not like a LA where they rich or they ready to laugh. Chicago, like, look, I had to find
They
parking.
coming in like critics.
They like, look, let me tell you something. Parking was hard. The day was hard. What's good? You know what I'm saying? So it's nice to be able to do that. And, like, I bombed the worst at mics, like open mics, because you have to learn how to get people's attention. Like, people have the attention span of a mosquito. So you got about, from the moment they introduce you, to get somebody attention, to get it, grab it, and kill it for your entire time there. People underestimate how hard that is to walk out there, snap everybody in, and keep them going.
Yeah. So you mentioned bombing once in front of Leon Rodgers. So you've bombed more than one time in your during this.
Yes, it's like you really want to harp on that. It's like, really want to harp on that.
Not
Yes, I have.
Normally when you bomb, like I said, it's some people quit. And I've watched you work over the years, and you really persistent with what you do. So I don't really see any loss of confidence. You just keep going. That's why I just wanted to ask you that.
Yeah, so when, like, I bombed again, I'll be honest, I bombed, to me personally, I did a comedy show at the Entrance out here in the suburbs. And to me, I felt like, as a comic, and this is just levels to this, you have to learn how to, it's one thing to have a set. To have a set that works in a comedy theater is one thing. But when you're doing a show outside of a comedy theater, you have to be able to, like, I'm going to do this crowd work. What is this audience really for? Are they really in the mood for an organized set, or are they in the mood to just be talked to about today? And my mindset is, like, I'm a professional comedian. I was booked to do 10 minutes. I'm not going to fuck with the audience. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And, like, when they're sounding like this, da, 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 and they was looking like, girls, show stiff ass. You know what I mean? So I listen to when I bomb. Like, I record my sets. Like, I don't just go home and be like, that was just like, if you had a bad game in basketball, you don't just be like, I had a bad game. It's like, what did you do? What was that play you fucked up? Like, how could you have pivoted? So it's like, I listen to everything that I said. Like, when did you lose them? Oh, you lost them at 1-11. What did you say at 1-11? Oh, okay. How did you pivot? Oh, you didn't pivot. Did you a transition? Oh, did you crowd work? You know what I mean? So to me, it's a constant studying of, like, critiquing your work to get better, so you understand. So I feel like that, to me, and I judge those things as bombing, because I'm like, I'm so good with people. I came in there being performative and not myself, and I ain't have to do that. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. So now, just going off what you said, you go in with 3 different game plans. You read the crowd, so am I going to talk about my day, or am I going to give them what I wrote? So you just got a 3-headed monster prepared. Yeah,
and, like, so I go in there, I study the crowd, I take notes in the back of the audience, because I started doing comedy at an improvised mic, like, with no anything at all. I'm just used to listening to people and trying to come up with word association or life association or story association of what they've been talking about. So most of the times I'm in a show, I'm always in the back writing down stuff, and then I'll be writing down jokes I got to go with that. So it's like, even if I'm going to bring up some crowd work, but I'm going to do my jokes. And now I know how to do my jokes as crowd work. Like, so I may, you know what I'm saying, start off my joke asking where I hate to give all the sauce, but I may start off my joke asking where somebody from, and I know where it's where everybody from. Then I'm from a very 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 small Dutch town, South Holland, Illinois. Like I got a joke in the pocket now. You know what I mean? So I had to learn the game. Like, and there's no like, even though I teach comedy, I could teach like how to do stuff, but can't nobody teach you really how to be funny. Right. You know what I mean? So you really have to just learn and study. So a lot of studying, a lot of me being really hard on myself, like, because I really, really, the joy that you feel when you kill that shit is just like,
it's like a high.
It's so high. You can't even sleep.
Wow. I can imagine that. So would you think, or would you say that being funny is something that you born with, or something that you build upon?
I think that it's something that you born with, and then I also think you can build up on it. Mm-hmm. Like, because it's a skill set. You can be taught how to write, you know what I mean, or how to understand or interpret comedy or write for comedy. But like, just a natural born funny person, it's got to be in you. Like we graduated the same year as like Derrick Rose, and our team went downstate to play him. And when I was watching him play, it's a difference watching, like, and y'all were amazing. Mm-hmm. But when you seeing him play and you like, it's that it's something on that man. That man got a gift. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I feel like that with comedy. Like, it's going to be a lot of people that's funny, but it's going to be some people that's like, no, you really funny. Because you got to be really born with that. Like, it's got to come out of you. Like, it's got to, you typically, if you're a real funny person, you're typically funny in natural conversations, and it translates on stage. Like, I don't typically turn off. This is how I am on stage. I come in hot with energy. So this is me. And I'm just thankful that I know how to write that shit now. Right.
I'm still tripping that I said you was on the cheerleading team.
Don't let that go.
We moving.
We was in high school 20 years ago this year.
I know. You going to the reunion?
Yes, we going to the reunion. Speaking of that, make sure y'all grab y'all reunion tickets. It's been 20 years. We need to see each other. We ain't seen each other in a minute. Damn.
You gonna do a set at the reunion? Ain't nobody reached out to you?
If I do that, will y'all come? If I do a set, will y'all come? Drop in the comments.
Gonna slide.
I'll slide.
I got 3 of them to go to.
I got 5 minutes. For y'all. We'll do something.
How do you keep a positive mindset in such a male-dominated field like comedy? Or do you even feel like it's male-dominated?
It is very much so male-dominated. Male-dominated, and then, like, when you cross over to, like, acting and everything else, this is all still white-dominated. You know what I mean? So how I keep a positive mindset, I just feel like nobody gonna say what I'm going to say. I'm gonna be funny, and I feel like the confidence exudes you. Like, soon as you come in there, like, that's all you have. So soon as you come in there looking like you don't believe in yourself, the audience know you don't believe in yourself. These niggas know you don't believe in yourself, and they want your slide. You know what I mean? So go ahead and come in there with your shoulders droop, so they could take an extra 2 minutes from you, and then they're going to roast you right after that and be even funnier than you. So it's like, I come in there like I'm big dog. What's up? You know what I mean? And I also have, like, respect for everybody. I'm friendly, and to me, I'm in my own lane. I'm not really racing you or you. We not really competing. Right. Even when we in a competition, I was just in a competition last week with a bunch of comedians that was selected. It was like just for laughs, and I went to everybody black audition. Cause I want to win, but I want everybody black to win too. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. So who would you say your comedic influences were over there, or still are over the years, that keep you going and inspired?
Well, Richard Pryor is one of my, like, of course, like, biggest influences. One, because I love the way he do act outs and the way that he tells stories about himself. And also, like early on, like, of course, Eddie Murphy, but like new school, well, not even just new school, but like newest comedy set that just dropped some more. Hey, her shit just was hilarious. Like, and I like her because she also a female, no kids. Melanie Camacho, love her down. And what's crazy is I get told I look like her a lot and sound like her. I've been mistaken for her, which is so cool. But I love her, big influence. In Chicago, I have comedians that I'm huge fans of. Like currently right now, Fab Monroe and Just Niche, they on tour right now for the We Done Ones tour with Mike Epps.
Okay.
Like huge fans because I feel like women get so like overshadowed when women really dominate.
Right.
And I say that because even though comedy is a male dominated field, because that's just how the world started, entertainment is, but women are the natural storytellers. Women are naturally more vulnerable.
Yeah.
Women are the ones that are naturally more getting everybody to the point. And they're normally the ones when you at events, they the ones everybody's sitting up there listening to. So it's like, of course, they gonna kill this shit. We know how we feel. So it's just nice to nowadays to kind of see the women shining more because that it ain't been like that.
That's what's up. Like, why you think it's like that? It would, even now, after we've had so many great female comedians and actors, that is still the way it is.
I feel like within entertainment, they just like putting women up one against each other, and then men still run shit, and they just kind of want to be able to still put women down. Like, it's crazy to me to be 2026, and when I see flyers and it's all men on it, like, who trying to go to a all leg night? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it all legs? People normally want all flats. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody be like, I want all drumsticks. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it be drumstick shows just all around. And I'm like, y'all act like y'all don't want no soft legs. What they call them? Soft legs. Y'all don't want no soft legs in the building. Everybody want drumsticks on every show.
Man. You got me over here rolling. All right. Getting the Second City NBC Bob Curry Fellowship. That was a big accomplishment. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
What did that experience do for you as a performer?
Well, it was really cool because the actual audition is for like improvisers and like sketch comedians, and you only get like a minute to do like a monologue or a character. And I was like, I'm gonna come in here and do a minute of stand up, which was diabolical, but I did it, and they was dying laughing. So it was like a good experience because they don't typically take people that do a lot of stand up. But our Bob Curry was, to me, one of the best ones. It was Bob Curry 7. Not like everybody else wasn't good. Everybody was good.
Right.
Everybody say that, but like we had a lot of heavy hitters in my group that really were really successful, but we were the first group that actually got to write our own show, and it sold out, and then they gave us an extension for our show and then paid us. So it was nice to kind of come out of the pandemic and like be like the first group, and that's only ever happened with us.
Wow.
So it was a really good experience. It kind of put me in the door at Second City. It was nice because I was already like doing improv and stuff outside. So when I did my audition, they was like, "Who is this? Where you come from?" So it was my foot in the door. So like I did that, then I ended up doing a conservatory, and then from there I got to write 3 Black excellence shows there, and 2 of them sold out, and I got to tour a Black show with them in DC that's damn near sold out. So it was, and I dominated those shows, which was really a good experience for me as a performer to be working with Black audiences with like 240 people.
That's dope. That's dope. So you worked on the show. Talk to us about that experience. What was that experience like acting on the show?
That was really cool because I got to do a scene with Lala Anthony, and so which means that I got to sit with her for about like 8 hours. Okay. And she was just like super cool, super down to earth, and like she was calling me Lita. She was like, we need to go to her improv show. She say she do shows. You know what I mean? Just like, I was like, this is nice. Wow. And like I remember they came and brought her some food, and then like somebody came and brought us something to eat, and then they didn't like ask me or anything, which was fine. Like, I'm just happy to be in a room and act. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, are you hungry? Okay, could you bring Lita something to eat? And then when they walked out, she was like, because it's not, you don't bring me something and I bring her. Like, that's not how we doing. And I was like, oh, she really cool. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I was kind of telling her, not trying to fan out, but I'm like, girl, I've been watching you since you was like T.R. Ellen. You know what I'm saying? Like, before everything else, like, you was one of the first Black girl hosts that we saw on TV. So, like, you history to us. So it was just nice being able to talk to somebody down to earth and just kind of be able to have that moment.
What was the audition process like to get that role?
It was crazy. Like, I auditioned in person for it. It was crazy. It was one line, and like,
Wow.
and I squeezed in like two other ones. You know me, I'm a real nigga. I'm oh yeah, ooks, ah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
but it was over 100 of us that auditioned for that. Like, and when I walked into the audition, I saw at least 30 girls in the lobby, and I mean they were all like beautiful black girls, and I was just like, all us here. So it's really about like really what they looking for and how you say that. Like, so it was, and a lot of things that I know that I book, which is cool. I've gotten because I have a Chicago cadence, so I like so
True.
thankful for that.
Like, what you like? With a normal female to see a line full of females and probably go home, or bomb just off the strength of being intimidated. Like, where does your confidence come from?
I think being able to admire and give gratitude when I see people. Like when I see other females, I'm always like, "Oh, you cute. I like your hair." You know what I'm saying? I'm always like going for friendly and building because it's like they just as nervous as you. You know what I'm saying? Like once I leave my brain and go over in yours and start thinking what you thinking, nobody controlling my body. So I have to be in control of this. So I'm always coming from a place of like gratitude when I see people, and it has really worked in my favor because most people are in them rooms going crazy, and I've met friends from auditions, like, you know what I'm saying, people that I end up still working with, like even from that Bob Curry audition. I met three people, like, and one of them had me cracking up this year. She told me, she's like, "Do you remember when we was in that audition and you gave everybody your business card?" I'm like, "Girl, no, I remember that," but like, I'm like, that is me making sure, all right, y'all, let's work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because in my mind, if we don't get this, we could do something. Let's stay connected. Let's still support each other. So I'm always looking at, and I guess that's growing up, like when you watching Adam Sandler movies. All his homies was in everything he ever did. So it's like everything is not a competition. You never know who these same people are going to book you. And that's how I've gotten a lot of things or a lot of pops in my career, is because I meet people and I'm nice to them and they refer me to other things because it don't take nothing to be nice.
Right.
And I'm not insecure about them. And that's what therapy helped me with, not being insecure and not taking stuff personal. So that's why I really like preach therapy, because other than that, you'll get on Instagram and see somebody booked more than you or going viral, and you'll be like, what I'm going to do? Because it's hard.
Yeah, it is difficult. I say Chicago like mediocrity.
Yes.
They love They real comfortable with mediocrity.
Who and will praise the
man.
mediocrity. And I'd be like,
man.
what?
Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? And it, to me, sometimes, and because I'm a caregiver, I'm around boomers a lot. And they didn't live long enough. They short, and they be like, because this ain't going to work. So I'm even like that even more. So I'm like, this old mediocre bullshit. Y'all did. And as my stepmom would say, this is real church basement, But everybody cool with it. Even when it comes to like, because I write sketches and like I've sold sketches to Second City, when I see stuff on the internet, I'm like, oh my God, there's no turn. There's no emotional twist. There's no out, and I'm like, don't nobody give a fuck. They like this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm over here punching up the sketches I see it. I'm at home hard on myself, ain't put a sketch out because I'm trying to cross all these lines and everybody else just liking.
Yeah,
Man.
we could talk about that for hours. I go through the same thing with the podcast stuff. I feel like I put out good content to make people think. You can learn some stuff. It's even entertaining, but it is what it is.
Yes.
Just gotta keep working.
Yes.
It is what it is. So you've co-produced My Best Friend Is Black.
Yes.
A lot of people don't understand the work that comes with a producer. What was that like?
So we have been co-producing this show. This is our 5th year. We are an all-black team and independently run, and it's 5 of us. So what it takes to co-produce is a lot of communication and a lot of hard work. We were doing a monthly show, and we still doing it. It's still going on right now. And what it takes is, one, completely trying to hear everyone out all the time, but also everyone has to be good at something. Like, we have to have someone that knows how to do administration things. We have to have someone that knows how to actually type up everything that we're saying. Someone to know how to book. You know what I mean? Someone that understands like how to pay people out. Someone to run the show. Someone to run the back of the show. So it's like, one, people don't understand, like, the biggest thing to understand when you're trying to produce something is starting from the end. You got this beautiful idea, and what is it going to take to have that? And working through it. But a lot of communication and trying to hear each other, and a lot of difficult conversations when you're trying to work stuff, because we're all comedians too, and we're running our show the day of, like running everything, like setting up the table, setting up the room, taking the money at the door, sitting everybody, and then actually performing, doing improv sketches and stand up. So we doing all that, but it takes of us a lot of trying to understand each other, because we're all perfectionists. So, like, understanding, and all of us are empaths too. So we all be looking at each other like, you crazy as hell. Or it's like, oh, this before show, Arlietta. You know what I mean? Oh, you need a break. You know, so having check-in moments too, which really helps.
Right. That's dope. So what keeps you going? Like, what's your why? And I ask this because as creators, I believe at our age, we look down upon sometimes, especially by people who don't create and don't got the mind frame for it. Like, how do you keep going? Because I know I've taken breaks from podcasting. I used to make music. I still make music, but I don't release it. Like, you hear you too old, you should be focused on family, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. What keeps our leader going? Like, what's your why?
So I feel like my why is because I had to kind of go through, like, a huge life lesson for me. Like, my father being diagnosed with Alzheimer's when I was like 28, 29, and that was heartbreaking for me. Like, I quit my job. I was a human services caseworker for the state. So that was my career. I was going to, eventually retire. So I quit my job to take care of my dad because I knew what Alzheimer's looked like. My grandmother had. I knew he was about to forget everything. So my why was to, like, make him laugh and enjoy life. And then once I started doing comedy along caregiving for him and telling my story, and then, like, the feedback that I would get from the audience, I was like, oh, I'm sent here to do this. Like, I gotta do this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm connecting and helping people in a way that I never knew I could do. And then, like, I started posting me and my dad on social media, and then people would be like, oh, I love this. I was like, oh, I gotta make a documentary. I gotta show people that they can use the improv yes and rule to agree with, dementia and Alzheimer's patients, or just caregiving in general, to give them more, like, peace while you're taking care of them. So then I started teaching a workshop. So I started doing stand-up, making a documentary, and teaching a workshop all in one. And I would do the workshop, and people would show up, and I would get people to reach out with me. I wouldn't even be asking for this at all. Right. Like, I got hit up by Seth Rogen's organization because they were looking for a bartender for an event, and I have bartending on my website, and they found that I do comedy about dementia, and then they, like, booked me to do comedy for their event. So it was just like, even on my saddest days, people like, no, you kind of got to put this out there. So with my documentary, that kind of really solidified it, like, getting the feedback from people. As you say, like, I think I got about 7,000 followers, and I damn near probably know all of them. Right. But for them people to be on there when I have posted, when I started taking care of my dad, like, keep going, or whenever I do that shouldn't really be hitting me. And I feel like I'm able to, like, sustain myself as an entrepreneur, but because I take care of my mom now and I know she's going to need more, I'm like, I need to keep going, because I want to be able to give her what she deserves, because I wouldn't be able to do this without her. So my biggest why is, like, I love and I want to take my mom on to keep doing this comedic things with me as I'm caregiving. So just being able to sustain her and my family and being able to do that through comedy is why. I know that was long, so sorry.
That's cool. Because you answered a lot of questions that I had with that, so that's decent.
Thank you. I do a lot of podcasts.
You do for real?
I've done some.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done a few.
Okay. How did the yes and, like, how do you implement that as far as communicating with someone with dementia?
So, like, my dad would think that, like, so I know I got a wig on right now, but up under this wig, like, I got, like, a little afro, like Lori Lightfoot, like, I lost keys to the city. So, like, my daddy would think I was a boy, like, while I was taking care of him. So he would see me walk around and he would be like, young man. So, like, my mama didn't think it was funny. Like she was like, "You need to put some earrings on. You need to do something." So I don't want. My stepmom. They didn't think it was funny. So when
Right.
he would do it again, he like, "Young man." I'm like, "Yes, sir." Then he like, "Come here for a minute." And I was like, "Oh, this is cool." He think I'm somebody else, so he not just bored with his daughter all day long. You know what I mean? Like, so now I'm doing these characters with him, and I was naturally going along with him. And then I met a woman in my Tammy Newman. She was in my improv class, and she was over a Dementia Raw program where they teach how to utilize improv and marry empathy with caregiving. So I went through the workshop. It's no longer around anymore. That's why I combined it and teach mine now.
Right.
But so I went through the program to do that, and so that's why I learned how to even apply empathy with it. Because a lot of people look at empathy like, oh, you're just an empath. Like, no, empathy is a tool like a light switch. You turn it on, choop, understand how everybody feeling in the room, and then when you done with work, choop, because I don't get no fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very quick.
I'm laughing at not what you saying, but how you saying a lot of this stuff. It was hilarious, man.
Thank you.
So, what was being a caregiver to your father as he was losing his memory? Like, what was that experience for like for you personally outside of what you do as far as being a comedian? Like just personally being in that position, because a lot of people wouldn't be able to do that.
It was extremely hard. Very hard, heartbreaking, frightening. Sundowning like is not okay. Like watching them be completely confused, watching my dad like sometimes he will really think I was a boy and he would really try to fight me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and my stepmom have to be like, stop, stop. And I have to be running from my 70-year-old daddy. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I would be so like sad because everything that I'm doing right now is things that my dad would do. I would be 10 steps ahead in my career if my daddy did not have dementia or Alzheimer's. Like in real life. Like it's crazy to me. So, like he saw me perform, but by the time he saw me do this, he wasn't the father that I grew up with. So for me, it was people don't understand that caregiving is very hard and it puts a lot on you. And watching my daddy die, like I watched him take his last heartbeat, like called the people, watched them drag him out, like that shit ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm sitting there watching him like, don't drop my fucking daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like at the same time. So it was like I had to like just accept what it was, and I think that's what kind of helped me to use and like improv. Like, oh, I can make some light of it, but sometimes I have to be honest with myself. This shit ain't funny, so I would like record my vent to record if I ain't have to be able to talk to my therapist because I need to get this out, and I can't always talk to my friends or everybody about it because you can't understand what I'm feeling.
Exactly.
And it's like I'm not a parent, but I've watched children before, but I'm like, and this is no shade to parents, but caregiving is harder than that because you're raising a child, like you're training a child. So you're teaching a child, you know what I mean? Or even like holding them or guiding them. Like this is a grown ass person that you don't know what they don't know in this moment, and they don't want your help, but they need a shower, but they got urine or something on over them. You got to get this off of them. So it's a lot of really trying to check in with yourself and trying to just get it done. And then also accepting that people around you that know this person is not going to be there for them because they can't handle it. Yeah. And you can't be mad at them for not being able to handle what this looks like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like where you get your source of strength from? Because you strong. I'm just been listening to you. I could tell that you are a strong black woman, and I don't mean that in a cliche way. I mean I genuinely mean that. Like where you get your source of strength from?
I would say a lot of I pray a lot. I meditate a lot. A lot of therapy. You know, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like I have to talk to my therapist a lot. Even when dealing with my mother, like with my dad, I was able to like quickly, like, okay, I can make this fun. But with my mother, like being confused, I'm mad as fuck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad. And I just had to like, within the past month, I had to realize how upset I am. You know what I mean? Because my dad died, and then my stepfather died a year after him, and then like my mom got sick. So I'm like, I'll kill everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I have to talk to my therapist a lot, and then also I recently just signed back up for the gym because I'm like, I got to start getting this out because I'm too upset about how I feel. So I always try to be in check with my emotions, and then I also do like an anxiety devotion every day, because I have to. Like, I'm a very anxious person anyway, so I do a lot of stuff to like anxiously calm down and remind myself like, pieces wherever you look, pieces if you got a cup of water, look at the water, it's still, you still. All you got is this moment. Like, improv kind of saved me like understanding like you have to be in the moment to understand what's going on. So I'm just always like, well, in this moment, what do you have? You got life, you got yourself, you good. You know what I mean? Like, in this moment, are you mad? You can feel that. You got every right to be. You know what I mean? Like, so I try to not tell myself that I'm not, that I try to allow myself to feel what I feel, and then get professional help with that, and then talk to certain friends that I trust about certain things.
So would you consider yourself a religious person or spiritual?
I would say both.
Both.
And I say both because I've grown up a Baptist, you know what I'm saying? And my family is like, I have a lot of pastors. My mother is a music director. My stepfather was a music director. So all I know is spirituality through music as well.
Right.
So like, I just left the house watching my mama play the piano on my way out. So like,
dope.
very religious. I read the script, I read the Bible, but I'm also very spiritual, very much so like astrology, very much so in the moment, you know what I'm saying, very much so paying attention to energy, you know what I'm saying. So, and I'm real big on energy, and a lot of ways I am right now is because I prayed for it. Like, I remember when I was in my early 20s praying for patience like an idiot, you know what I mean, like,
I wasn't stupid.
but like, you know how many situations you'll get thrown when you ask, help me be patient, help me be patient.
Yeah.
So like,
Imagine asking for knowledge and understanding.
yeah, and I asked for discernment. So I prayed, and I was really journaling. I was really into like, I really want discernment. So like, and like I have it now. I can see stuff, and I understand. And I had to like, and being around also older people like my stepmom and my mom, and talking to boomers, they helped me see that people are people.
Yeah.
Because I'm such a lover and such a friendly person. I get really fed up with like people being fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And my stepmom like, you cannot give up on people. Sometimes people just stupid, and you don't like calling people stupid. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know.
Sometimes you get tired of hearing the same story over and over and over. It's like, dude,
yeah,
fix that shit, bro. Like, you know what to do. I'm tired of listening to it. You either gonna do it or you ain't.
Yeah.
I feel it.
But I know it's a lot on black people. I know we deal with a lot of poverty, and then we also deal with a lot of mental health. Yeah. So a lot of my patients, I'm just like, oh, wow, you know. And, you know, and a lot of times I just get in the car at the like, damn, they dumb as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I drive home, and I'm thankful. But my little sister has kind of checked me for that, because I'm the kind of person that, because I see what other people have going on, and sometimes I can see how they can be helped or see how hard it is. My sister will tell me, like, you diminish your feelings for other people. So I have to be mindful of that too. Like, so what if they got that shit going on? Bitch, you spilled coffee on your shoes today. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Like, so just trying to be real honest. And I do have a job. I work at Rush Hospital as a standardized patient. That's where I act out case studies to help doctors and nurses build empathy. And I've been working there for about 7 years. And the first few years, I was horrible at my job because I was not communicating how I felt. Because most times we just let people get away with shit. Right. And we don't even know we not even really, you know what I'm saying, understanding what's going on. Because if they don't really make you mad, it's okay. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it really taught me to understand when you did how to talk about how I feel. When you did this, it made me feel this. Like when you dropped eye contact and turned your back, I felt, you know what I'm saying, unheard. You know what I'm saying? So it helped me to understand how to explain how I was feeling. So now that I'm like in the position, after taking care of my dad and watching all that, I kind of help myself with that job and just dealing with emotions, like understanding, like, Arlietta, how do you really feel? Like in this moment, like, is you really sad enough to cry? Or could you just do something funny or watch something? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so it helped me just try to really be clear on that. And a lot of people aren't really clear on how they feel, whether unless it's just happy, sad, or mad.
Yeah. It's a dope perspective. Um, at some point, your work shifted from just entertainment into something more personal, and we talked about your documentary that you got coming out soon, Finding Your Laughter. What led you to create that, to be like, you know what, I'm gonna take this situation and I'm gonna document it and I'm gonna turn lemons into lemonade, basically?
So when I first started taking care of my dad, I was just like, we gonna have fun. And I would just post us listening to music or whatever he was saying to me or whatever the character he thought I was doing, and I would post it online. And people would give me all this feedback, like, I love what you're doing. I come to your page to look for this. And now that, you know what I'm saying, now that I look back, I guess I was doing content creation. You know what I mean? So I took the feedback from a few posts of content creation, maybe like 2 or 3 or 4, like, and I was like, I'm about to make a documentary. You know what I mean? This is bigger than this little, and not saying, content creation is not, I just didn't know. So I just took I took those few posts, those few stories, and I was like, okay, I have a story to tell. People understand what I'm doing with my dad. I want to put this out there and help caregivers. So I'm just going to make this and put it on YouTube real quick. And then once I met with my co-director, Brittany Osley, and she was like, cool, I want to do a documentary. I'll come over. And she came over and filmed the first day, like came over with a sound guy and everything. And she filmed, and when she got home and she was looking at the footage, she was like, this just seems like so much more. And then we started getting feedback from like actual filmmakers, and they was like, this is more than what you all are trying to do, and you all really need to sit down and hammer out the story. So that's how we started. And we started on it in 2019. And we've been using footage from 2018. So I originally started putting stuff on Instagram in 2018.
Right.
So from there now, and now we are, as of last week, if you want to click on the deadline link, I am a Sundance Fellow, documentary fellow. Yes, with the official Sundance community, Finding Your Laughter. It will be supported by the Sundance Documentary Fund.
That's dope.
And Sandbox. So it's the Sundance and Sunbox. Can I get it right for the editing? Sundance Sandbox Documentary Fund.
That's what's up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, what does Finding Your Laughter mean to you now? Because it's been almost 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So now, from 2018 when you started to where we are now, with everything that you've accomplished, everything that you're doing to get this in the public light, like what does that documentary mean to you now?
So, Finding Your Laughter means to promote joy while caregiving. So, just in a nutshell, we want to be able to bring the light to caregiving. It's hard as fuck. Let's give ourselves permissions to laugh. Let's give ourselves some comedic tools to help ourselves through the process of what it looks like when we're talking to our loved ones. And I want people to be able to walk away from the documentary ready to, celebrate and have a little bit more joy while caregiving.
Okay. So if someone was going through something similar, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, one, bless your soul, because you are actual caregiver and a superhero. And I know you don't have that cape on like Superman, but what you doing, nobody else is doing, number one. And then also give yourself grace. So I do have a storytelling template that I include in my workshop where I help people. It's like a template where you actually write down what happened, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you get to running off in your mind telling yourself, you know what I'm saying, motherfucker, with me, you know what I'm saying? And that's not really even what's going on, like black people do this. Yeah, like black people, we get defended real quick. You offended me, and it's like, what really happened? Right. You know what I'm saying? What actually was just said? What can I change about this? What can I change about this? You know what I'm saying? And what's funny? You know what I'm saying? So I try to teach people that are caregivers different ways to because sometimes you ain't got nobody to talk to. You just sit in this room with this person and you need to just write this shit down to yourself. You know what I'm saying? What's funny to me about this shit? You know what I'm saying? And what's going on? So I try to give them different ways and teach them within my workshop and show them what I'm doing and what it looks like.
Have you ever thought about going into the schools with your improv courses?
So
I think a lot of kids could benefit from the stuff you do just off the communication standpoint?
Yes, I have thought about that, and I probably could do something more with like I guess the ways that I've been approached with doing improv for children is just
It's
loose,
corny.
just like loose improv, and I don't mind that. But I like how I'm talking, like how I do my workshop. It would need to be workshop
Right.
facilitated. Like
Yeah.
I don't like when I've done 2 hours. Like I remember I was doing improv one time with somebody, and we had to do it in Inglewood at a high school, and they just dropped me off for 2 hours, and I'm just like, why me, Lord? You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with Inglewood, but it's like
Yeah.
to me, I know they need more than this 2 hours, and they need structure with this. And I know how this public school is gonna go. Y'all told them that we only got the program for 15 kids. 30 kids need this program. Really, the whole damn school need this program. So now we in here with 30 kids, and they need more than what we have to structure. You see, I care too much. So now I'm in this situation. I'm in there like, I'm trying to problem solve, and now I'm in there doing one-on-one with everybody, trying to make sure everybody feels heard, everybody get to play. You know what I'm saying? It was even kids in there with ankle monitors on, and I'm like making him be the one like, hey, come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even that loose improv, I know they had fun and talked about that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel like it's a way. So I can like, and you a teacher, and my my mom was a psychologist, my dad was a principal. So definitely down to talk about a way to construct the workshop for that.
Yeah, I do. I've done podcast courses over the summer for teenagers, and I feel like, and it's just helped them with just being able to hold conversations, talk to people they necessarily don't agree with, without them going off and cursing each other out. And I think that what you do, just off hearing you explain it and elaborate on it, I feel like that'll be beneficial for a lot of kids, especially kids in high school.
Oh yeah, I would love to do that, especially like a communication to the world. You know, that my bachelor's is in communication, so like how to talk to people, how to produce. Because I think a lot of kids, if they learned how to produce things, they would be doing that. They would put a lot of. It's so many places in Chicago that would let these kids have events if they were trying to do something positive.
That's dope. So, with everything that you've gone through, everything that you've accomplished, what do you want people to take away from your story?
So, what I want people to take away from my story is, just heard this quote the other day. All you got to do is stay black and die. I'm sorry.
That ain't the answer we looking for.
Okay, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Come
But it was right there. I was like, "Ooh, can I play for a
That was a
second?"
good
Okay, let me stop playing. No. What I would say, I would say like my daddy would say, whatever you doing, stay on the course to the end. You know, it's gonna start it and stay on it to the end. Finish it. Like you, the only person that can actually finish what you coming up with. Like finish the plan, stick to the plan, take time off the plan, and don't rush it. Like I feel like with comedy in general, especially with stand up and with content creation and everything going on right now, people look like I gotta rush this, and I'm only saying that because I go through that myself sometimes, and it's just like, do you, and people gonna love you, and the people that's supposed to connect with you are gonna connect with you, and they gonna find you at the time that they're supposed to, and you don't know when that time is gonna come. Just like me, I've been working on this documentary for 8 years. I applied to Sundance 8 years ago, but I wasn't ready. Does that make sense?
It makes
So
sense.
I guess that's what I'll say. So I want people to learn. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready, because sometimes you think you're ready for an opportunity that you're not even ready for.
Right.
And I've had the blessing of talking to a few friends that have gotten blessed with stuff, and they like, I wasn't ready for that. Even myself, I've done shows when I'm like, dang, I just figured out how to make that joke better. I would have killed that. You know what I'm saying? So stay ready and always be working on your craft. You're never at your best, if that makes sense.
That's great advice. Because I remember when I first started, not first started, but I was working with a particular group of people, and we was like 11 episodes in, and our first interview, well, it wasn't our first, but it was like our first big interview. We went straight for Jim Jones after the verses. Dope interview, but like you said, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could have been better.
Yeah.
So yeah, just we gotta, a lot of us gotta just stay the course and be patient and enjoy the journey, enjoy the process.
Yeah, and that's it. Have fun. I feel like Kelly Howard told me that before. She was like, have fun. Like, I was super nervous for a book, and she like, what are you nervous about? They booked you because you do what you do. Have fun. If you're not having fun, what are you doing this for? Like, you doing this to prove to anybody else anything, so you should be having fun.
Why you don't do internet skits?
I'm in the process. I got some stuff we working on.
Cause you funny as hell. Like,
Thank you.
You funny. For real, for real.
I'm working on, and that's the thing. I'm so in my head about how to do stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't want to. But I am working with some people where I'm filming some stuff. So I got some stuff that's gonna be coming out. But I will start doing more. Cause me personally, I just would want to pop my. This is just me.
That's naturally what you do. You could just create a character and just take off.
Yeah, y'all make it sound so easy, but I feel like I did. I just posted a clip the other day that I didn't edit. The Laugh Factory edited it, and it did really good on Instagram. And that's what most people know me at. I posted it on YouTube. I have 33 subscribers on YouTube.
Wow.
I have 16K views on that video now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the people that supposed to find you gonna find you. So I'm gonna start doing more stuff like that. But yeah, I'm working on trying to make these things authentic to me, because I don't want to just be in overload, because that was the problem. I'm like, I gotta do what everybody doing. Yeah. I could be viral, I could do this, but I'm just like, I have to make this stuff smart for Arlietta, and then put out stuff that's just gonna help me have fun.
You in your own lane.
Yeah.
You in your own lane. This is our last question, and we're gonna wrap it up. If you had one last message to the world, what would it be? If this is your last moment and you had to give a message to the world, what would it be?
If you want anything, you're going to have to work for it. You're not going to be able to depend on anybody to do it for you. Nobody owes you anything.
That's it.
I could keep going. I don't know if I had like one sentence. Okay, nobody owes you anything. Have fun. Figure out something that you want to do. Even if you just don't know, just if you like talking every day, whatever it is that you're good at, you could be a person that's good at listening to other people. Sometimes we put too much on it. I used to think that when I was in high school, I wasn't good at shit because I couldn't play basketball. I couldn't run. I wasn't like super athletic. But I was always good at talking to people and making them laugh. And I didn't even know that was a skill set. So I feel like paying attention to yourself and getting to know you and getting out of the noise helps. Stop listening to people and get a therapist. Look for one. The first one you find ain't always the best one. So I say make it your job to find somebody that you can talk to get some professional help. Because if you're good, then everybody else is good. But as long as your mental is not okay, then nobody else around you is okay.
That's dope. Arlietta, thank you for coming. Just want you to know, we all supporting you. We all see you working. Like, we all supporting you. You've been working your ass off. We're very proud of you. Continue the good work. And we hope to see you on the big screen one of these days. We know we are. At some point, we know we are. You work very hard.
Thank you.
We are proud.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Talk. That's why I reached out. I've been watching you work for the last couple of years. I'm like, this girl is working her ass off.
Thank you, Will. And I appreciate that, because sometimes, like you said, what keeps you going? You don't never know who really seeing you, and it'll be that one person that take you serious. And like, we in a real podcast room. I've done podcasts, you know what I'm saying, on all different levels, but this is real respect. So like, thank you for seeing me and giving me a platform to share what I'm doing. So
hopefully you come back one of these days.
I'll be back when the documentary done. I'm coming back because we're going to be talking about this film that we're going to be screening everywhere. And I'll be back again because we're going to talk about how we're going to work with these kids. Now we got to do
that. Like, subscribe. Another episode of The Discourse with Will Marshall. Holla at y'all next time.